All right. Well, welcome to our Wednesday workshops with G6 allies. Listen, technology has changed pretty much everything. It seems like in how we do ministry, how we communicate, how we can disciple, how we reach people who aren't even in the building. But honestly, not every church has a tech team or a budget like a mega church to get that accomplished and to happen. So how we do everyday how do everyday churches use technology to lift up the gospel and not just keep up with trends? Well, here's how you do it. This is a conversation today that we're having with the team from nextlevelchurchtech.com with Stephen Monroe. We want to talk about this subject with leaders who are helping churches of every size and every kind make effective decisions in technology through smart, simple tech strategies. So whether you're a pastor, whether you're a tech director, or maybe you're somebody who got voluntold that you are running Pro Presenter tonight for your church, well, this is for you. So let's go ahead and dive in, everybody.
Thanks, Ian. So glad to be here. I'm Michael Schaefer, founder and executive director of G6 Allies, and we're thrilled to have Stephen Monroe with us here of Next Level Church Tech. And most of the work that G6 Allies has been involved in over the last 6 or 7 years has been on just help carrying the burdens of pastors, and whether that's guiding them through burnout, helping them navigate difficult situations, just feeling stretched too thin or needing some personal spiritual renewal. We offer pastoral care and coaching for ministry leaders. G6 is based on Galatians 6:2. It says, carry one another's burdens, and in this way you'll fulfill the law of Christ. And we realized when we started this ministry that pastors carry a ton of burdens of their people, of their congregations. But sadly, the reality is most pastors don't have someone there to carry their burdens for them. And pastors are people too. They need allies in their corner just like everyone else does. And so that's kind of where we began as a ministry. But over the years, we've seen God open doors and allow us to stretch beyond that and help carry burdens come in all forms, shapes, and sizes, right? And one of the big burdens that pastors carry that we have seen come up in conversations time and time again is, I don't really know how. I mean, I'm a pastor. You want to talk about parsing Greek verbs? I'm down. But you want to talk about how to set up my sermon streaming? You want to talk about the right AV equipment to use? Completely lost. Then it is all Greek to me, right? And so that's where we find a lot of pastors. And so I'm really thrilled that we get to work with guys like Stephen and talk about those kind of issues, because there are so many pastors who struggle in this particular area. So Stephen, welcome. So glad you're here. Tell us, before we get into the tech and church side of things, give us a little bit of context about who Stephen Monroe is. Tell us about you.
Yeah. So I have, I've been in the church world all my life. I grew up going to church 17 times a day. If the doors were open, I was there. And man, just fell in love with the church, and realized pretty quickly that God had gifted me in technical things and understanding technical things. And so over the course of the last 30 some odd years, I have played pretty much every role you could possibly imagine in ministry, in church ministry and technical ministry. I've been on staff as technical director, as facilities director. I did a short stint as student pastor. It was short because God laughed and said, no, that was not it.
Been there.
You missed that mark. And so we've had all kinds of fun. But over the past year, God's just really laid on my heart that pastors and church leaders get lost in the technology. Everything's technology. From my phone dinging to my left, it dropped in my microphone. Did you guys lose it?
No, you're good.
Oh, we got you. You're good.
Hang on. Forget these. Can you hear me now?
We got you.
Oh, yeah, you're
Got it.
good. Yep.
Sorry. Awesome technology. So God just laid it on my heart to open some doors that may not be normally open. So we've got 2 financial partners that we lease stuff through. So maybe the church doesn't have the capital to do a $15,000 or $20,000 project. We've got financial partners that will come alongside them for, $200 or $300 a month that they can swing. Or just being that tech support that churches need. So we've got a membership subscription base that allows you guys to pick up the phone and call on a Sunday morning and say, "Oh no, it's on fire," and we help you guys walk through that stuff. And so, leaning into what God's got for us has been an interesting year. But that's kind of where we are. That's the short version of me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Besides, dad, 3 kids, 4 horses, and 2 dogs.
Okay.
So
I feel like we lost a lot of story in there.
We might deviate a bit from our purpose here, but I am curious about the horses. How long you been a horse owner?
You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Now I got you.
All right.
See, there it is.
Cool. So I was saying it's completely off topic a little bit here, but I'm curious about the horses. How long have you been a horse owner?
Yeah, so we have owned horses about 3 years now. So we do. My daughter likes to ride. I like to ride, but we also do some what's called non-medical therapeutic riding.
Yeah,
and so we work with a couple of different counseling and family youth agencies in our area to do therapeutic riding.
Equestre therapy. Yes.
Yeah, equestrian.
Yeah. Yep. Love
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man.
So
cool. Well, that's awesome. So when it comes to the church tech side of things, and we've already alluded to it a bit of how that is a burden that a lot of pastors carry. What has been your experience? Like what's been kind of the big challenge, or why do a lot of pastors feel stuck when it comes to their tech needs? Is it more of the financial resources side of things? Is it more of the knowledge or the know-how, or I don't know what? Because I mean, if I Googled church audio video equipment, I'm sure I'd get 50 pages of different companies selling me different products, and I wouldn't even know where to begin and how to evaluate them. Is it more of that side of things that they're getting stuck on, or is it pretty evenly distributed in your experience?
Yeah, so it really is evenly distributed. The challenges of churches since COVID has really been what I call the front door, right? Their website, their live stream. You guys know that people are jumping on Facebook and checking things out.
Yep.
And people are jumping on their website and checking things out. And if their website is bad, their live stream is bad, people are jumping to the next live stream. Yeah. And so it's really been a challenge, especially since COVID, getting live stream and technology to be at the forefront in these churches that may not have ever thought, oh, we need a live stream. Oh, we need a camera. Oh, we need that on our Facebook page. So that's been one conversation. And about 50% of churches are like, we don't know how to do that. And then the other side of the conversation has been, we know we need to do that, and we know we want to do that, but we don't have the financial resources, or we don't have the trusted advisor to be able to say, hey, you need this camera and put it here, and we need these lights, and we need this, this piece of equipment to make it work. Be that trusted advisor. And then the financial piece is always the challenge. And so that's why we have the leasing partners in place to be able to help with those needs also.
I think a lot of I think we fail to underestimate, maybe because I think technology is always the devil for a while. Like with everybody, we don't know how do we work with new technology, how do we not? And we've been talking. Michael and I have been talking a lot about this, just because I'm doing some work with student ministry convention, and I'm doing a breakout on AI, right? And so like we struggle with that, but I wonder too, to see what y'all are doing. I love, just because I think we fail to realize that now your website, it's the same thing as doing curb appeal for your house. It's the same thing as keeping your church painted and things from flaking out. Like, that is going to be somebody's first impression. And how you, and I mean, we all know watching church live streams is tough. It's hard to do anymore, because it's like you're still shooting on an iPhone 3GS, and you're just hoping you can get to 420 resolution. But you all also do in-house technology as well, right? Things like if you need screens or lights or that kind of stuff. Like, it's sometimes you sweat every day on the podium because you're still using hot bulbs and not LEDs or whatever it may look like. So how often are you helping churches inside of their auditoriums, kind of updating so that they can visually help people as well?
Yeah, so that really is the bulk of what we do on a day in, day out basis. We come in as that trusted advisor, as the guys who just want to see God's people served. And so I'm bare wall behind me. I'm on a customer location right now, doing some LED screen stuff and helping them get their lighting right and connected to their dimmers and all the technical fun things. So about 80% of the time I'm dealing with customers with what needs to happen in the room, so that what happens public facing, the live stream and that stuff, looks right and is good, as well as what's happening in the room is distraction free. That's my goal. I want worship services to be distraction free. So whether that's a screen flickered, or a screen's color's weird, or lighting's doing something, or microphones are doing something, my goal is to make your worship service distraction free, so that God can show up and God can move.
That's really, I love the fact, because we talk about this with our tech team and our people, and we're a smaller church. We're not high production church either. Even if we were really big, we wouldn't be a high production church. But our goal is that what we do well, and that it looks great, and that it's engaging. So we do some cool stuff. But I think what's cool is that maybe y'all don't even think about it this way, but you all are disciple equippers and makers, to the extent that I think that we have, for so long, the technical side, and my brother does it for a living, so I got to see kind of the backside of a lot of that, is well, you just show up and do a job, but you're not part of the spiritual side of it, but you better make those slides go on time. And I think what's so crazy is we've started to realize, I mean, at least even the way we frame it, is you're a valuable teacher of the gospel, sitting at the back of the room pushing that button, because if you don't, you have the ability to help people understand what's being taught, or for it to be distracting, or everything that you guys do when you're hooking up. You all are doing pastoral ministry, because that's how we communicate the gospel well. And I don't know, I just think that we look at it and go, live stream, who needs a live stream? Or we look at it and say, website, who cares? I made mine in Microsoft Excel, or Microsoft Front Page 2000, whatever we do. If it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. But I do think at one point there's such a conversation to be had in what you're doing, that what you're doing is pastoral in and of itself, and that the volunteer, because you all do volunteer training as well, don't you? And helping people learn. You're training ministers there. You just people don't want to look at it that way, but you're training pastors. The guy running Pro Presenter, he's a pastor. Yeah. He's pastoring people. Yeah,
absolutely. And we do look at it that way. It's 100% a ministry for us, for our team to invest in your team. I tell pastors all the time that my job and my calling is to equip your teams to do their job that God's called them to do, so that you can do what God's called you to do and lead the church, and not worry about the technology. And so, it's 100% equipping teams to lead people to Jesus. I mean, David was all about music and instruments in the Bible. And so we want to equip churches to be biblical.
He'd have been about LED walls too if they had him.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly
Solomon would have been.
Yes, definitely Solomon would have been. I think about it kind of in terms of, we're right in the middle of football season right now, And the tech side of things is a lot like the offensive line. The quarterback is well aware of the offensive line, but nobody else pays any attention to him until something goes wrong.
That's right.
They pay attention during that holding call or that missed block. Otherwise, they're ignored. And I think we do the same thing with the tech side of things, right? We don't even pay attention. We just expect the tech to be there. We expect it to work, and we don't even think about it or appreciate it or pay attention to it until it doesn't work, until the screen blacks out or you lose internet signal or, some kind of tech issue happens and things go wrong. Then we're all very aware of how important that role is, right? And I know we have a lot of pastors who maybe are pastoring older churches and they're tired of dealing with those kind of things, right? The tech issues, their equipment is from the 1900s and they're tired of it, cutting out or dropping off, and they need to upgrade, but they're not real sure where to start. What would be a piece of advice or two that you would give, or maybe like what would be some of the common mistakes that you have seen where that pastors or churches do when it comes to upgrading their tech equipment? Can you speak to that?
Yeah. So, from the video side of things, everybody's hot button item is an LED wall. And that is cool and they're awesome. And that's actually what I'm working on right now on this customer site. But your room may not need an LED wall. You may be 1,000% okay going to Sam's or Costco and buying a 75 or 80 inch TV.
I saw 100-inch TVs at Costco yesterday, and I thought I was in heaven. I'm just sorry. I just got to throw that out, but I didn't know they made them that big now for $2,000. Yeah. I don't have.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great price. Go buy one.
Yeah.
Selling it on Facebook Marketplace tomorrow.
Grab me one while you're at it, Ian.
Yeah,
sure. Never mind. I'm a pastor too, so let's. Do you lease those, Stephen?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, we'll lease you one.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just thought about that.
No, that's great. No, that's great. Absolutely. We don't have a Costco down here. We have Sam's, so they haven't quite made the 100-inch jump. 98 is 98's where we're at. We're still stuck in 98.
I take it.
Yeah, right. But no, I mean, seriously, that may be 100% sufficient for what your room is. And having that trusted advisor be able to say, man, yeah, LED be cool, but do you want to spend $20,000 or you want to spend $2,000? And that's kind of where I'm at. And my heart is, I'm very agnostic when it comes to gear and equipment. And my heart is, hey, what's best for your church in your specific environment? I don't need to sell, 30 LEDs walls a year. If I sell one, great. If I don't sell any, cool. So that's kind of the hot button issue in video world. In audio, digital console, everybody wants to make the jump to digital console. I would encourage that jump because there's just some ease of use that comes into that, but you don't have to jump to the $30,000 or $40,000 digital console. We can probably put you in a digital console that has all the features you need for $3,000 to $5,000. Lighting is a tougher conversation. Because you can buy cheap LED lighting, is cheap LED lighting. And so you got to be careful in that world to find the balance between what's affordable and economical versus what will accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Yeah. I may be asking the wrong questions, but one of the questions I think of too, there's a lot of guys that are in older buildings that were designed for a different era. And sometimes, there's always that question of, it's not if I need a screen or if I need better lighting, but it's like, am I going to have to completely rip out and redesign my entire building? And I don't have the budget for that. We work with a lot of churches that are smaller. Is it pretty easy to make some of these changes and do that without having to bring a lot of construction involved?
Oh yeah, 100%. We can, man, we deal with churches. I've got a church that's in an old movie theater. We deal with churches all over the place that have different environments, shopping centers, old buildings, new buildings. it just, we do as least invasive as possible. Now to say 100%, oh yeah, we can solve all your problems without construction or without electrical or without this. I can't do that, right? But we can work to solve whatever situation there is with as minimal intensive construction as possible.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
do you
Michael.
guys actually do will you come and do the installs and the electrical work as needed and all that kind of stuff? So it's a comprehensive service. Or if they already have that and they just need to buy equipment, they can just buy or lease equipment from you, right? So it's really you run the gamut of meeting those needs. Okay.
All the way down to now. I won't do the high voltage electrical. So when when it crosses into 120 volt power, typically what I do is I work with an electrician that the church has an existing relationship with, or I help to find an electrician that will do what we need them to do. Just because I don't have the licenses and certifications to do that work in every state all over the world. But I do have the knowledge to be able to communicate clearly with someone that the church already has an existing relationship with. But yeah, everything else, install, doing the wire, doing the pulling the cable, are just, hey, you know what? I'd recommend this piece of gear, put it here. If you have questions, call me.
It's such a cool thing too. So, I mean, and it doesn't have to, like you said, it doesn't have to be an LED wall, but one of the things that I noticed I was at a church in the last, now it's not been the last several years. This has been back before they leased screens, and screens are like $500,000. But we were talking about, we were building a new area specifically for a student space. And the argument was, and I think as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about this from a pastor, from a pastoral perspective, it's always, we look at it like obstacles and not like opportunities. So I want to remove as many obstacles as I can. But I think what's interesting about it is you're spending money on things to decorate, to upkeep, to make your space fit your season and your Sunday and your time. One of the things that I thought was so interesting, because I used to buy, wish y'all had been around earlier, Stephen. Wish you had been, the Lord had have called you quicker. But I remember what church I was at. I'd pay hundreds of dollars every month for $200 to $300 for a big vinyl sign to drop behind the stage that was whatever series we were doing. And so when they laughed about how much money that cost, but the amount of money it cost me to do that, I'm sitting here looking now if I were doing it, because my thought was, I want my walls to be gray or black, or I want my ceiling to be whatever it is, because if I can not spend money on all of that, I can spend money on something behind me that I can constantly change the theme of. Like I could have not spent all that money on those sides. And I think that sometimes maybe as pastors are thinking through, what does it look like? Well, maybe if you look at your budget and you're sitting there thinking, man, I have $200 to $400 or $500 a month tied up in all the different decorations and the things we're doing every couple months, it may be worth it to say, you don't have to decorate like you're doing it. And maybe you need to look at, what digital options do I have? But I think that that's a really cool idea. What y'all are doing, I think, is revolutionary for a lot of churches, because I think we have learned helplessness, that we just assume that because we are a certain size or in a certain type of building, that's just what we're going to have. And I don't think that's the case.
No, that's not the case at all. So, I mean, we work with churches from 30 to 3,000. And we're, like I said, I'm equipment agnostic. I want to give you what's best for your environment, for your church, for your team. If you've got the super technical guy that's at the sound booth, and we can go a little bit more in depth and more complicated, we will. But if you've got my dad sitting at the soundboard who wears hearing aids, and if his phone can't connect to it, he can't hear it. I love him. But
that's awesome.
If it can't connect,
that was an oddly specific example, almost like making that happen before.
Yeah, well, we didn't send him the link, but we'll put the console in place that'll make that work for him.
You need to put on that on your marketing and be like, "Are you deaf? It doesn't matter. We've got the right thing for you." That's so good. I want to take your mind and make you an AI platform, and just be Stephen AI, and that's what you need to start selling. Some people can just ask questions, and
it'd be a dangerous place. dangerous place.
But that's so good though, because we don't, the fact that you all, not only can you install it, not only can you offer what you need, and the beautiful thing is you're offering what people need for what the budget they have, and you're going to help them walk through that, but that you can help train up or work with anybody they have at any stage, it sounds like. And that's
absolutely.
gold, because it's really hard to train people to be proficient in something that you just are not gifted in and don't understand. And so that's huge, I think. Well, Michael,
so we've got, it looks like from the stats I see here, we've got 5 or 6 people watching live right now. And so if you're watching live and you have a question about tech stuff, drop that in the chat. If you're watching the recording back later, obviously we're not going to see you dropping comments in the chat, but that's fine. Do it anyway. But go ahead and type those in there if you have tech questions. But I want to go back to a leasing question, and then I want to shift gears a little bit to tech support type of a thing. So on the leasing side, we've already mentioned that you have leasing companies you work with, so you actually can lease equipment, or you can sell equipment to churches. Talk about some of the pros and cons or the benefits of one versus another. When should a pastor be looking to lease equipment, and when should they just be looking to purchase the equipment?
That's a great question, which everybody says right before they don't have an answer.
You're like, well, do you have a wealthy donor in your church?
Yeah. It really comes down to a cash flow question.
Okay.
9 times out of 10. Now, where that 10th time comes in, maybe the pastor who's like, man, I want the hot button. I want the latest and greatest every year, right? I want to be upgrading our lights. I want to be upgrading our screen. I want to upgrade our soundboard. I want the latest and greatest, right? That 10th one we'll throw out the window for this conversation.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, it's a cash flow issue. Maybe you have 6 months reserve sitting in a bank account that you could go out and spend, we'll just say $20,000 on an LED wall. But that's going to wipe out your reserve, or it's going to take your 6 months to 3 months or something like that. And just being a good steward, maybe it looks better to spend $300 or $400 a month, $500 a month over the course of 3 years to get that LED wall versus wiping out your reserve. Or you're the small church of 45, 50 who you've got great consistent giving, but you haven't had that opportunity to build that capital reserve yet. We can sit in that great consistent giving. God's blessed you with consistent givers. And we can accomplish things with that consistent giving that would take you 10 years to build up a financial reserve to be able to do the outlay. That's really where the leasing comes into play. Okay. Unless you're that weird guy that wants to upgrade every 6 months or a year. And then we can, that's a different conversation, obviously.
Yeah. So for the leasing, for those that want to lease, or is it a annual commitment? Is it how does that whole process work for you guys?
Yeah. So basically what happens with us is we have 2 different guys that we work with on a regular basis on leasing. And kind of in the course of conversation, I pick which one we go with, or maybe we send it to both and let them. Generally, it's a straightforward equipment lease, 3 to 5 year term. Okay. And then we've got some different buyout options if you want dollar buyout or different residuals or
my next question.
It just kind of depends on again, case by case scenario. I'm very specific to the need or the desire of the church. Not really looking for that cookie cutter solution.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
I love that about what you got. And I'm going to tell you from experience, like we don't have to have Steven on here. So like it's, we align people that are like us and that we connect with. And I mean, I have been, even in us talking and connecting about stuff that wasn't this live, it's been really cool to see your heart to just see churches win. And I think that that's just something you don't see in a lot of places. So I would tell you, if you're watching this, and we're not live, or if you are live or whatever, I would ask the question. I'd make the comment, and I'd get connected, and we'll help you connect you with Stephen. But it's worth having a conversation. What do you gain or lose with it? And so it's worth asking the question, how do we do this better, and what's it going to cost? Because at least you know what you can work towards if you can't do it. Michael, you had another good one in the barrel, and I interrupted you because I'm color commentary and good looks.
Looks like, so we got one question in the Facebook chat, so we'll do this, and then I'll ask my other question. John asked, do you guys help with balancing sound in a room to keep guys like me from just turning it up as a solution?
What's wrong with yeah, that's a training thing, and we'll 100% help with that. That it could be a balancing act of actual mixing, or maybe a cry room to help the crying babies go somewhere else, so you're not just trying to balance your sound over a crying baby or something like that. There's a lot of variables in that, but yeah, we 100% could help solve that problem, John.
Which is a great segue to my next question for you, Stephen, because I know, so our church, we're about 7 years old. We rent space from another church, and we've moved locations. So we were renting space from one church. They reconfigured their whole thing, and we moved to a different church. And so we've rented space from two different churches, and in both of those spaces, the technology that was there, the sound, whether it was a soundboard, whether it was a projector or a screen,
megaphone overhead,
something went wrong 5 minutes before service began, and we aren't familiar enough with it to figure out how to fix it, or our guys just didn't know why it was doing what it was doing. It worked 5 minutes ago and now it doesn't. And so we would call, or we'd send a text to the sound guy from the other church to ask them, hey, what is this issue? And 45 minutes later, we would get a text back, oh, sorry, didn't see this. Just press this button and then I'll fix it. Well, that would have been
so
really
helpful,
nice, right? So
yeah, right.
So I am painful, and that's not to disparage those guys, because they were really, really great 99% of the time.
They've also got lives to lead outside of us. It's a tough position.
And we meet on Sunday nights, so asking them to do something like that on a Sunday night, that's a tall order. I get all of that. I kind of say all that in jest, but I do also say it to say I am aware of the challenges of tech support issues and how things can go wrong at exactly the wrong time and not know how to fix it. And that's something you guys are really passionate about helping churches fix too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, my availability is exactly when you don't want anything wrong to happen. I'm available on Sunday mornings. You guys meet on Sunday nights. You say, hey, in our membership model, we do an onboarding call. You walk me through your room, your space, or your rental space, and say, hey, this is what we use on Sunday mornings. And we walk through that process. And then you tell me, hey, my service times are Sunday night at 6 p.m. Cool. I'm just going to know that from about 4 o'clock to about 6:15, 6:20, I'm watching my phone for you guys. And if you call, or if I get a strange number from, somebody on your team, I'm going to answer the phone. We're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to walk through, hey, my microphone's not working. Cool. Is it on? Do you see a red light? Do you see a green light? Do you see signal? Is it muted? Is the channel muted? And we'll walk through just a handful of things. And really 9 times out of 10, Michael, what happens is, if that I'm just the calm voice on the other side to ask the silly questions that you already know the answer to, right? Your team already knows, hey, I didn't change the batteries. If it's a Sennheiser microphone, I'm looking at the bottom of it and the red light's flashing. Well, the batteries are dead, are dying, right? And we can kind of adjust from there. It's really just a calming voice that says, hey, did you check this? Did you check that? Now, there are 100% the times that something has just died and it's not working, and we can't fix it, right? No matter what. what happens, who's on the phone, you can't fix it. But the majority of the times, if you just take a deep breath, realize that, hey, God's still going to show up. God's still going to do what God's going to do. This didn't take him by surprise. Let's figure out if we can get it fixed in a timely fashion. Or we can't get it fixed in a timely fashion. What's our plan B? And we move towards that solution to help you guys out. Like I said, 30 years of ministry experience in technical ministry. Very, very little surprises me on a Sunday morning anymore.
And
the enemy's really great at it.
And you have a team of guys too, right? So it's not just you answering all these churches' phone calls.
We have a team in place. I say me, just out of habit more than anything. But
Steven's like, is he 2-3 months into it? It's like, where's Steven at? He broke down, man. He just doesn't exist anymore.
He's got like 9 cell phones on belt clips around his belt at any time, answering all of them.
There's a team of us, and we have a number that goes to a cell phone that we pass off for Sunday morning response or service time response. So somebody's always watching it.
Yeah. The point being, multiple churches could call in with tech issues at the same time, and you're going to get an immediate response. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
You're not going to be put on a wait list, or we'll call you back in an hour, or. So I think that's a fantastic service that you offer to pastors and to church, and one that I think will be very beneficial, and it's super affordable too, right? What's your price point for that tech support membership?
Yeah, so that membership is $197 a month. If you want the Sunday morning or service time support, I say Sunday morning just because that's largely when churches meet. But obviously, we found the one church in the world that doesn't meet on Sunday mornings here with Michael. So we'll say service time support.
Yeah.
And that extends to midweek services, or, hey, we're having our Christmas cantata or our Christmas musical or Easter. Our Easter weekend services start on Thursday and run all weekend. Right. Just as long as I have that kind of head knowledge of, hey, this window's special. We'll make sure we're available around those service times.
Okay. And then you also have, if you don't need the actual service time, the urgency side of things, if you just like during the week, hey, we had this issue last week, how do we not make that not happen again? You've got an even more affordable membership for weekday support, right?
Yep. And so that one is at $97 a month. For churches, I have to check the website because we've kind of have floated that. But there's a code right there on the website for growing churches. We actually discounted it 50%, and it's $47 a month.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. So good. So, I just want to encourage pastors who are watching this live or watching the replay of this, that like this has piqued your interest. You want to learn more about this. $100 a month is super affordable for tech support. Most of our pastors that we're connected with are not in the size of church where they have a IT guy or a tech team or person that is on staff. And to basically get a tech team member for $100 a month, man, that's a deal you can hardly pass up on. So, how do they get in touch with you? Where should we direct them to do that?
Yeah, so the easiest way to kind of jump on that bandwagon is our website. You can sign up right there. Like I said, the growing church code is on our website. Right there when you hit the sign up. Yeah, there you go, nextlevelchurch.com. Our Facebook page is another great way to get in touch with us. Next Level Church Tech on Facebook. I think we're the only one, yellow and black. Fancy logo thing right there, yellow. Man, we'd love to connect, even if it's just hey, I'm in, I don't know, pick a random city. Will you guys come help us? The answer is absolutely. Sorry, my blood sugar's low. That's the alert
Uh-oh.
that's going off
Oh, no.
in the ears. So it's okay.
Oh, good. Well, as long as it's not.
I just can't. I can't silence the alert. It goes off even when my phone's
Well,
on silent.
that's not an alert you really want to silence anyway.
You need
so-
that.
Exactly.
It seems like it would be worth it too if you're a pastor wondering, well, where do I really approach this? I'm not sure. It seems like it would absolutely be worth it to be able to jump
I
on
would
a
love
member.
to connect.
Yeah, to
Yep.
connect with you, or even to think about that what a membership's going to help you do is build that relationship ahead of time where then you start figuring out your problems. I think sometimes we go, I don't know where to start. And then you guys, if you're fixing problems, go, listen, we do. Like we're outside of that. You
Exactly.
need to fix these 3 things. But I think
exactly.
that makes a lot of sense. And man, that's just such a useful price. I mean, if you're talking about, even if it's 197 and you're doing that, that's $2,400 a year for essentially what you would pay somebody $30, $40, $50, $60,000 a year for. I mean, that's a huge way to win. I love that, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
That's I love what you all are doing.
With that 197, I think we try and get on site to your location at least once a year.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a really big deal. Yeah.
The man, if you're I just don't, I see that as an absolute win for any size church that's trying to do that. You to have somebody that's in your corner and that's taking care of you is a big deal, because it is overwhelming. And it's the cool thing is I would imagine you can have your volunteers and people connecting with you if you are on site, and that way you're not just trying to, some volunteers are volunteers, man. They're not full-time doing
right.
it. And so sometimes there's things that we think we know that we just don't know. And so to have you there, that's such a win and a helpful moment for them. I love that. So
yeah,
it's a worthwhile call, man. We met Stephen at the SBC, and we were next to each other on our booths.
We were neighbors, vendor neighbors.
Yeah.
And
Let's
so
pickleball.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Pickleball, man. They had a huge tent. Either way, though, I just thought it was cool when we connected to hear your story and how new y'all were. But it was one of those things where when you told me what you did, I thought, duh, because that's so important and needed. And then I thought, but I would never have thought about that. And it's just, I think that's how wise things happen, is that people see the things that make sense and that are clear, but that nobody else is thinking about. And I don't know, just in the world that we're in, I don't think churches have to live and die on production, but churches absolutely should strive for the excellence that anybody else would in what they're doing. And so I think the fact that y'all are doing that is absolutely a huge service to the kingdom. I love it. I love the fact that anybody has a chance. Any church, despite their size, has got a shot at really connecting with the culture where they're at.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the heart behind it, is equipping churches to reach people.
Yeah, I love that.
So good. Stephen, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate this. And once again,
thank you guys.
Website up there, if you guys need to know more about this, they have all that. They're those 2 different packages that we just talked about on their website, nextlevelchurchtech.com. Go check that out. Tell them G6 sent you, and we just would love to see Stephen show up at your church and help get you guys everything that you need on the tech side of things, so you can continue to disciple your people. So any parting words, Stephen? Any advice you'd give to pastors who are watching this about thinking about tech? Or I think we've probably covered most all of it pretty well, but anything you want to share?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just say, if you got a question, holler at us, shoot us a text message, email, Facebook, whatever. We'd love to connect and help you guys however we can. And definitely tell us, let us know that G6 sent you, and we'll give you the extra attention.
Yeah. Well, I love hearing that. That was a powerful conversation. Listen, you don't have to be a tech genius to lead a church that is faithful and forward thinking. And so we love the fact that the Next Level team just reminded us that technology isn't the goal, that transformation is, but the technology is absolutely a tool to help serve people, not just platforms, but to help a kingdom movement happen. And so if something tonight or today sparked, your idea for the church, and maybe it is tonight when you're watching this, listen, take a step, comment below, visit nextlevelchurchtech.com. let them know that we sent you, so you can get the extra attention. But listen, follow what they're doing, follow their work, ask questions to them, and just remember the worst thing that could happen is you have a good conversation. And so thanks for being here, Stephen. Thank you for your team, what you're doing. Keep building, keep dreaming, and let's push forward to the gospel together.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.